Well, hello, gamers. I'm Big D, and you're not. Oh, so here we are. Couple of weeks into. Why is there two of the same thing there? Here we are, a couple of weeks in the 10th. 54, 55, 56. Doing what we do. Being what we are. Being who we are. Back on the building train. Played some games. There are things I really like about 10th. There's some things I don't like about 10th. We've seen some reveals. There's a leg in here. Here we go. And I'm digging through my orcs now, trying to get some more of them built and out of the way. Get out of the way. Get out of the way. Get out of my backlog. The building on 58. It's you. Nice thing about orcs, you can kind of just build them however. Front, back, leg, arm, and head. What head are you? Your head 60. I have turned over one small leaf. I'm going to be going through my bits real soon. And after I'm done with this major build process, I'm going to be purging a lot of bits. Like, I'm going to purge a lot of bits. I have too many. I have boxes and I have storage containers worth of bits. And I'm going to utilize the ones I can utilize. And then I'm going to take a bunch of them. And I'm going to put up for grab with any of my local buddies to see if they want anything. And then the rest are going to get chucked. Because purge. I need to get rid of a lot of stuff. I just have too much of it. Takes up too much space. Takes up too much room. Takes up too much of my life. I'm going to be taking this table apart, hopefully this weekend. But I'm going to be taking this table apart behind me, putting a smaller table in here. I realize I built this table with the intent of playing more at the house, and it just doesn't happen. So I end up having this huge table that ends up becoming a storage facility for stuff. And projects just pile up on it. So I'd rather have a large folding table that I can flip up and put away and have open space and then have an excuse to not just stick stuff there and finish projects. So what's up in the world of Warhammer? Not really much right now. Again, there's been some balance updates, but they weren't really that big a deal. I don't know. They didn't seem like that big a deal to me. I think we're going to see something major really soon. I'm hoping. I didn't actually see if the actual like balance update sheet came out yet, or the big thing. I haven't noticed it. Unfortunately, as people have noticed, my real life has kind of gone crazy. My regular 9 to 5 is more like an 8 to 6, barring a lunch. It's far more like an 8 to 6. So I'm not really enjoying that much. And the company has issues. So, honestly, I'm looking to get out of that company, and I've been burning the candle on both ends, trying to get things taken care of. And I've been hearing, well, people have mentioned, well, we see you on Discord constantly playing video games, and it's like, yeah, because I can do that mindlessly and not have to think and take my mind off of the crap that's going on in my head. So I do apologize to some of my gamer friends that I'm running a game for. I've had to cancel a number of sessions lately. I've just been basically unable to people very well lately. I am 2 tests away from getting my commercial driver's license, which will open up my ability to go drive a school bus, which will take me out of IT, but pay me a lot more money and give me some free time. But I've also got a couple of IT interviews that have come up, and if they are willing to pay me the good money, the money I know I'm worth, then I may end up sticking in IT. But like I said, it's going to come down to somebody paying me what I'm actually worth, not bargain basementing me, which I'm really kind of tired of being bargain basemented. And I know this isn't the normal trend of topic, but this is the reason I'm talking about this is that it comes back down to balance of hobby and game and real life. Topic we've talked about before. I tried drowning out some of the issues I was having by just hobby. Painted a crap ton, an absolute megalith of figures earlier to try and just kind of move past the issues I'm having. Yes, I'm also on call. I have a second laptop here because I'm actually on call this week. But I didn't want to have you guys miss another week of me. At least give you an abbreviated show. Ugh. I really like the hobby. And I wish I could do more of it. without the stress involved of the real life, which obviously you can't. And I really like real life. There's things about real life that I actually really like, and it's just the stress of the piling of things upon my head. My wife has a new job, which is lovely, and she's doing great at it, but her back's been bugging her more lately, even though it's all healed up. Suddenly, now the other side of her back's starting to give her issues, which is worrisome. You guys know how much I love Lady D. I worry about her. My roommate is changing jobs. The Hobbit, the Halfling, the Kender, my original co-host from 7 years ago. I've been doing this 7 years now, which is crazy to think about. She's changing jobs, and she's actually getting a bus driving job, and she's really stressed. And the problem is when you're actually in training, you're not making as much money. So she's got concerns about being able to cover her bills and pay her bills and cover her portion of the bills of the family. It's just adulting sucks. Oh, adulting sucks. I hate it so much. I really hate. I really hate being an adult sometimes. I really, really do. Don't want to do it. Don't want to do it no more. But that's how that works. My latest Imperium magazine. I don't really know that I need to build another shock attack gun. Got one. I've got it painted. I might find somebody who's playing orcs and doesn't have one and gift them this figure. Hey, Commodore, if you're out there, I know you're not actually. You might be. You doubt it. You hate me nowadays. But if you are out there, let me know if you need a guy with a shock attack gun. If you do, I've got an extra one that I'd be happy to pass along to you to see what you do with it. Lade. I do love the orcs. Been wanting to get back to them for a bit. That's an orc. That is an orc head. One of the things I don't really like about this kit, the instructions are kind of lackluster. Okay, so that's an arm with a whip. So that's obviously one arm. For my runt smasher, whatever they're called. And his other arm with his runt prodder or man catcher. Well, you know what? I actually like this, the way this looks. Nobody cares. So I will build one that looks cooler. And that's what I'll have. Runties. Ugh. Oh, that's right. His other arm can be a whip or it can be a squig. We do squig. So why would you ever do anything that's not a squig? Hello, Tina Raven. How are you, darling? Uh, la, 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 uh, so I know this is Gen Con week. So there's an assumption that there's going to be. I am building a squad of Gretchen with the orc dude that keeps the Gretchen in place using a electric prod and a squig. Like I was saying, I know this week is Gen Con, so there's an expectation that probably Thursday there will be a bunch of reveals. Probably stuff all throughout the weekend because that's what they normally do. They'll do like one system stuff one day, one system stuff another day, all the specialty games on a third day, which is fine. Um, I don't know if this makes sense or not. I guess I'm kind of like overhyped at this point. Like, they've just been revealing and showing and talking about so much in such small bites, which I'm fine with. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know how to think right now. I don't know what to think right now. I'm so wanting, like, so kind of used to like little, I should say, so used to little reveals. I kind of want them to do like a big, oh my gosh, reveal to put some excitement back in the marriage again. Uh, hello, Ben, my man, going to Gen Con. I'm hyped for you, bro. One of these days I'll go again. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, we're gonna see. I mean, you're absolutely right. We're gonna see the old world something there. I mean, that's gonna be kind of big. I think the other thing that we can probably expect to see is kind of stuff we've either already suspected or stuff we already know about. Just haven't seen officials for yet. For like, like we've already seen like the big Tyranids reveal. We'll probably finally get. Oh, look, the Marines reveal. Yeah, we already know what the Marines are getting because there's a half dozen units that have been in box sets that you can't get anywhere else. So obviously, those are what's next. Yeah, I hear that about Marvel Crisis Protocol. I wish I could. I mean, I keep looking at the box set because I can get it at a discount at the starter box set, which is probably their best value. But then I look at their individual figures and I'm just like, God, those are so expensive. And then I'm just like, nah, I'm just not all. Something weird to talk about. Because I've been trying to manage my stress levels and my mental stuff. I've been watching a lot of media. I've been playing video games and watching a lot of media, just stuff to kind of not think about stuff. Um, and this is going to be weird coming out of me. Maybe, very well, maybe. Maybe just throw some dice or something. I mean, I want to get and play some Age of Sigmar too. And I'm playing 40K this weekend. I'm playing a 40K game on Saturday because my buddy knows I'm on call, so I can set my computer right there at the table while we're playing. And if I need to take a break to deal with a call, he's like, "Whatever, we got all day." Yeah, and that's the thing. And I love you guys for that, y'all. Like, let's play. Like I can be honest. One of the reasons I'm not really into Marvel Crisis Protocol, I love the look of the figures, but at the same time, I am so marveled out. I'm so superheroed out. Like, I want like some real hardcore sci-fi. Like right now, I am just on. I'm on. My hair is a little bit I have is standing on end, waiting for Dune 2. Dune Part 2. That is like consuming me. Bethesda's got. I've been playing Cyberpunk like crazy, mainly because I keep it at low setting and I can just run around and shoot gangers in the face. Look, it's a ganger. Shoot him in the face. It's a ganger. Shoot him in the face. Put in my smart gun. Shoot him in the face. I can basically wander around not paying attention and just shoot people in the face because I've got my gun so well tuned. So it's really kind of a. I walk around and kill people the game, and nothing happened. I wasn't paying attention. I thought it was a group of gangers. It was actually a group of cops. Funny thing about this game, yes, you can interact with the cops and start fights with them. And as you get more and more cops killed or destroyed, like they call in more cops to the point where they'll call in Max Tac, which is like they're super cops. And I hadn't realized it. And I started a fight with some cops. And within about 90 seconds, I've turned it into like a one alarm. Oh God, I got to run away so they don't start trying to really kill me. To I've killed so many cops by headshotting them. I'm at full 4 badges, and they're bringing in Max Tac and cars and drones, and there's cops everywhere. And the only reason this fight is starting to turn against me is because I'm running out of ammo because I've already killed so. I mean, literally, the street has a good 70 or 80 cops, like a dozen cop cars and drones everywhere. There's like 3 vans. I jump in a cop van and I run away, trying to get out of combat long enough to just grind up some more bullets. And I can't because I drive and take off and I got a Max Tac AV following me, hitting me with machine guns. I had to find a group of gangers that were so horribly outmatched, but were on call for the cops saying, "Hey, deal with these guys." I literally go diving out of the cop car, dive into these guys, and kill them, and grab the cop thing there to turn off the alarm. Oh no, he's with one of us. Never mind the 800 cops he's killed along the way. He just solved a crime for us. He must be one of us. Yeah, like that's the whole thing. Like I'm like I don't want to do Star Warsy shit. I'm so burnt on Star Warsy shit. I'm so burnt on superhero stuff, like mainstream superhero shit. Um, like I can watch The Boys, but even that's kind of like right now. Like comic booky stuff on a whole, even zombie stuff is just like, oh god, not another. I'm like, I've been finding entertainment watching documentaries and watching like hardcore dark real sci-fi and putting on audiobooks of like the Dune series or like Foundation. I found a YouTube channel where the guy is just doing dramatic readings of Isaac Asimov's Foundation series. So I'm just listening to the different stories from there and uh trying to tune my media consumption to just something different. And like I've been building and painting, like I'm really am trying to get like bigger projects done. I'm trying to get through Nick's terrain. I got about 2/3 of the way through the paint job and I hate it. And I'm like, ah. So I'm stripping it back down to do this terrain again. I'm stripping the whole thing back down and I'm trying a different scheme because I know what I want it to look like in the end, but I'm having a hard time getting from start to finish and getting through the middle section. And I know it's like, oh, when it's ugly, it's looking right. No, the color scheme is not coming out the way I want it to. So I'm working on Commodore's terrain piece again to try and get this terrain color right because it just looks like ass. So I really am going to have to break out the airbrush and just go that route because I can't get this color any other way, and it pisses me off. Which is why I got done. I'm so sick of Marines right now, and I just decided to build some more to try and paint them. Maybe go back into Custodes. I don't know. I don't even know that I want to play all that much. I kind of want to play, but I want to play casually. I did a 2,000 point tournament, and the reason we lost, the reason we came in second, and this is not me sour graping. Literally, the reason we came in second place was I took too long on turns 1 and 2 on one of our middle games. If we had gotten a turn, we only got through the first 3 rounds. If I gotten to round 4, if we'd actually begun round 4, we would have won the game by 50 points or at least 40 points because he had nothing left on the board and we would have gotten one more round of scoring and literally we were completely covering the table and he had nothing left on table, but he had managed to keep himself within a point or two of us. So at the end of 3, I think he was ahead by like 2 points. And it's like, are you kidding me? We're going to lose this match because I took a little too long on a couple of rounds. Killed me. Like we were absolutely destroying everybody that the other two armies we faced. We tabled one army in 2 rounds. We absolutely removed another army's ability to score in 2 rounds. It was upsetting, really upsetting, but it is what it is, you know. That's why you got to play the games and you got to learn your army and play them better. I'm just kind of spent on competitive play. I want to play casually. I want to play stupid games with no stakes. I want to play dumb games where we're just playing for whatever. Like I want to go play Age of Sigmar more. I don't know. I want to play some Song of Ice and Fire. I want to build my tanks and play some Flames of War and kill Nazis. I like killing Nazis. I'm really tired, folks. And it's just, that's just how everything's been. Um, like, I'm running a role playing game, and I really, really love running that role playing game. And I forgot that it was Gen Con this week, and I was feeling so run down. I'm like, I can't give these guys a good game. I'm going to be sitting there and just be like, and Shannon had a migraine. I could have left her at home, but I didn't feel I could give them a good game. I didn't feel like I could people properly, or I could give them a good game, and I didn't feel like I was in a good headspace. It's a rough week, and I was talking to Ben about it, and Ben's like, if we move this to every other week, you need to commit to this, and I'm like, no, I know. I committed to this because I'm really excited. I'm bringing people into Shadowrun and into the cyberpunk world and into cyberpunk role playing, and it like my favorite genre in the world. I love. I mean, I want to go back and like read Neuromancer. I love cyberpunk settings, and I love the genre, and I love the feel, and I love the everything about it. And Ben's right. It's like I committed to this. I need to be there, and I do. And I've just been so like mentally spinning plates. Just keep that one spinning, keep that one spinning. Yeah, exactly. I have days that just because of what I've got going on and everything I've got going on, I literally walk into my life at times going, huh, can I people today? Am I able to people today? Um, and that's not fair to my friends. But at the same time, if I'm not peopling very well, I have been known to say some shit out of order. I mean, when I get to really like really bad people days, um, I have been known to lose my ability to filter and just say the shit that comes to mind, and like just be like, if you don't like it, whatever, deal with it. You got to deal with me at face value because you know I'm me and fuck you. And that's a hard discussion to have with somebody. It's a hard discussion to try and explain to somebody that, like, when I'm having my worst anxiety, days, when I'm having my worst I don't want to people days, I don't I don't withdraw and become antisocial because I don't want to be around people. I turn antisocial and withdraw because I don't want to say shit I have to take back later or can't take back later. Um, I would be lying to myself and to others if I said that my anxiety has not, I have not said things while I could not people properly to friends of mine that are now no longer my friends, and rightfully so because of it. Um, I would be a liar to say that's never happened. Um, I would be a liar to say that, even though I am generally a good person, when I'm not peopling properly, I turn into. You say that, Ben. Um, you know, Well, I'll just remind you I said that. I will remind you I said that after I come down off of a serotonin low. Because, like I said, I have a friend of mine that I said and did some stuff that I wasn't wrong in what I said, but I could have certainly been far more diplomatic in how I said and what I said. But because they weren't in a good place and I wasn't in a good place, it drove a wedge between the two of us. And it drove a wedge to the point where I had exactly 3 conversations with that friend after that. And the last one was them being clear that even though they were dying, they had no desire to make peace with me. They had no desire to bury the hatchet and let it go. And so when they died of cancer about 3 months later, there were some tremendous things between us that never got said. Fair or not. And so I worry about that. Because everybody knows me as Big D or Adrian, nice guy. And a lot of people don't realize that, at heart, I'm a dick. I'm an asshole. My closest friends know I'm a lovable, irascible asshole, but I'm still an asshole. So anyhow, back on a shinier, brighter topic. So we're gonna see obviously some reveals. I mean, I honestly think the big reveals we're gonna see are again they're gonna be at Gen Con. We're gonna see Old World. I think we're gonna see a little bit more about the new campaign setting or the new whatever you want to call it season setting for Age of Sigmar. We've seen very little on it so far. So I'm assuming we will see something more on it. Our Lizardmen just got a range refresh. So, and they almost always do some sort of range refresh announcement or something at Gen Con. So I'm assuming since Tyranids are getting their refresh as part of the base set of 8th, we're not going to see much. We're not, I've been like 3 years in a row now. We don't get much for 40K at Gen Con. They use Gen Con really to promote more of the fantasy side of things and the specialist game things, which I always find weird, but I think that's because they use LVO and Adepticon to really showcase 40K. So I'm good with it. I like the idea of, Age of Sigmar getting more. I just don't know what they're going to do. I mean, at this point, what are they going to do? They can't, they could just add another faction. They're going to need to talk about their world they have. I mean, that's something we do need more input on what this season is going to be about. I'll be honest, I'd really like to see, I'd like to see a couple of the ranges get some more models. Like, my goodness. Can the fire belly dwarves, or whatever the hell they're called? I mean, I don't even play them. I'm just embarrassed by the fact that they just have nothing. They literally have like this tiny range. It's like, can we just get them on actual range? Can we get them something more than what? 3 kits? 4 kits? 2 HQs, the 1 box of dwarves that can be turned into 3 different things, and the 1 giant monster that can be turned into 1 of 3. So yeah, they've got 1, 2, 3, 4. They've got 4 kits. Can we give them more kits? Can we give them something else? Can we give them anything else? My goodness, just give them something. Somebody pointed out to me, I was really hyped for Old World. I was really kind of hyped. And then I realized, why? Why am I hyped for Old World? Because I can get Bretonians? That's why Ray would be hyped for them. Because I can get my my undead guys back, my Egyptian guys back, which were my other really favorite army other than the elves. I got my elves back. And I realized it was the same thing I got mad at a lot of the people I used to play World of Warcraft with. The Old World is cashing in. It's not like the Horus Heresy. Well, the Horus Heresy is a familiar setting, but it's different. The only problem with it is using old rules. They're not playing an old edition, they're just using old rules, which in and of itself has its own inherent issues. But this is literally, hey, we're going to go back to the system that wasn't viable, wasn't selling kits anymore. And we're going to try and bring it back. This is literally why I got mad at people I used to play World of Warcraft with, because they're like, oh, it was so much better back in the day. No, it really wasn't. It sucked. The earlier versions of the game sucked. You couldn't queue for dungeons. You had to have a group of 5. Then you had to run your ass all the way out there to the dungeon to run in the dungeon. Well, it was part of the charm. There was no charm. It was freaking work. I will never forget when I was part of a raiding guild. It was such a pain in the ass. I was spending 30 to 40 hours a week playing World of Warcraft. And a good, I would say, honestly, maybe a quarter of that time was just travel time getting to the dungeon or getting to the raid and getting to where we had to go. It was just like, oh my God, all right, let's mount up and go. Oh, we can fly there now. Yay, we'll fly there. Oh, it's still going to take us. We have to cross halfway across the map to get to where we're going. like once they added the queuing system, we could take our group of 5 or a group of 4, queue up, and it adds another person, ding and go. And we could just sit in town at the auction hall doing other stuff, maybe going around and just picking herbs or mining or doing our other farming, and then we'd just teleport to the dungeon, play our game, and then come back. It was better when they improved it. Age of Sigmar is a superior game to Warhammer Fantasy Battles. There, I said it. Hate on me all you want. If you love Warhammer Fantasy Battles, hate on me all you want. I played them. I played them back in the day. And Age of Sigmar is better. Not slightly better. Not, oh, it's the same but different. No, it is categorically, subjectively, objectively, unquestionably better. It is a better system. It has better models. It has better rules. It has better balance. Ugh. And I liked Warhammer Fantasy Battles. But God, the rules sucked. And I didn't remember how much I hated the rules until I played Horus Heresy, which uses the same rules. And oh my God, they were awful. Oh, oh. How can a system have such cool models, such cool characters, such cool stuff, and just have the most dog shit rules? I understand it's for casuals, and I like the fact that it's for casuals. And I thought that was going to make the game better for me because it's about casual play. But casual play should not equal shitty play. And it is shitty play. I'm going to throw 3 buckets of dice around, and most of them are going to be meaningless. It's a volume of dice game, and the only things that matter are pretty much 1s, 5s, and 6s. It's awful. Or somebody decided and realized that the math was skewed and just grabbed a bunch of dreadnoughts, and suddenly you're just dying. Like, we're dead. We're dead. We're dead. We're dead. Ugh. Now, Tina, you say you don't know anybody who plays Fire Slayers. It wouldn't be worth the time to do more models. Here's the question. Do they not play Fire Slayers because there's not enough models? Or are there not enough models because nobody plays them? I love the Fire Slayers because the Fire Slayers are based on the old fantasy Slayer series, the Troll Slayer, Giant Slayer. I forget what the whole Slayer. I mean, they're based on that aesthetic, and I love that aesthetic. I love the aesthetic of that army. But the last thing I want to do is paint the same model 80 times because they only have 3 choices. It's like playing Space Marines, except you only have a choice between intercessors, hellblasters, and reavers. That's it. That's your army. Because that's what the hell. Oh, and you got a choice of 1 or 2 kinds of tanks. You can have a rhino, or you can have a whirlwind. That's it. You don't get the other options. You just get those 2. That's what it'd be like. I'd be like, no, fuck Marines. Yeah, Schrodinger's door. Exactly. It's like Give me more models. Give me some more dwarves. Give me some different kinds of dwarves. Give me some dwarves that lean into their whole elemental aspect more. Fire breathing dwarves or fire shrouded dwarves or dwarves with hurling pots of fire. Just something. Just something. Anything. I'd be interested in playing them. That's the problem with the order. Everybody's on order side. I mean, I'm cool now because I don't have to play my I don't have to play my dynasty guys because I've got the bone lords. I've got my my Oathshark bone reapers, and I'm gonna paint them up eventually when I get to them, when I build them and paint them. I'm gonna paint them up in these old scheme of my old um my old courts. God, what were they called back then? Why can I not think of them? I can't brain right now. But basically the old basic Egyptian undead mummy skeleton armies. I'm going to paint them up in that scheme, which is like, regular bones and like lots of turquoise and gold. It's going to be lots of gold with inlaid turquoise and bones, and all the cloth is going to be like clean white silks, and and really aged, almost gray, like grayish brown bones. I might switch up a little bit, but I really like the idea of the turquoise and the gold. So, but yeah, I mean, it's just there's just the rules were so bad. The rules were so awful. And I can't imagine they're going to do them and not use the calling of the old world. I just, give me some more options and I'd probably play them. As it is, I'm fighting really hard. Although the nice thing about it is I'm getting fighting really hard to not play the lizard men. Only because the idea of Aztec lizards really appeals to me. But I also realize I don't have to actually. I have like 4 figures I own that are like some of the coolest in the range, and I might buy like a Lord Croak, but I literally don't have to buy any models for that line. Literally two separate model makers that I Patreon to. Both did variations on Aztec lizards. And I have a beautiful, beautiful line of models that I don't have to buy anything. I can just print them 1 unit at a time, print, dry, paint, and then I can paint and print them as I want on demand. And that's a nice thing since I can do that. I've literally at this point I have the printer like unplugged and I'm not doing anything with it, and I refuse to do anything with that printer until I get all of these built and done. I am trying so hard. It's so hard. I'm trying so hard to not get sucked into another army and not into lots more models. I have such a huge backlog that I don't want to get sucked into another army before I clear most of this. I am halfway through the year. I am through a huge amount of my backlog. I will get back to painting when some of this heat and humidity dies down a little bit more. But I'm working on Well, as you can see, I'm working on orcs now. I think I'm going to paint a couple squads of orcs just to cleanse my palette. And then cleanse my palette a little bit and then go back to something else. I'm not going to paint my my Voltan yet. I think they're going to be one of the last ones I'm going to paint. Mainly because I'm still debating my color scheme there. Like, part of me still thinks doing hunter green and gold will be fun and cool. Part of me wants to do a green army because I don't actually have a primary green army right now. And I have multiple blue armies. Although I gotta say, again, we were talking about turquoise earlier. I really like. It's not quite turquoise. It is more of a green. I really like that Sons of Horus green. It's a really, really it's a really good color. So, since I don't have a use for it anywhere else, part of me really kind of wants to use that in a scheme. I don't know. I'm scattered in so many different directions with what I have. Some paint schemes that I liked, then didn't like, then liked again, then didn't like, then ideas that I was working with, then I decided against. 10th edition really. 10th edition really made me look at that gigantic 1,000 unit army and retro army I was looking at building. It really made me look at it and go, why am I painting them as? Why am I not just doing them all as wolves? So I went and ordered. I went and ordered a Space Wolf transfer sheet from Horus Heresy, getting those red wolves. And then the regular wolf one is now out of print, so I might have to go up to eBay and grab that one and maybe do 100, 100 wolves in one great company's crest, and then do 100 in a different great company's crest, and do them that way. Build the different great companies. Although Blackmane's 100, I've already got. I think I've already crested that 100 mark. I think Blackmane's already somewhere in the 300 to 400 model mark. So, I don't know. I'm messing with a bunch of ideas for that, so I'm just gonna build as we go. I got a bunch of Terminators. I'm right here in the midst of. I'm in the midst of the big wolf chariot. I've got my blues down, and I've got my golds down, and I've got my silvers down. Now I just gotta go in with a little bit of red and some detail on the dashboard, basically, and then get that one onto its base. So he is coming. He is nearly done. I have a little bit of work left to do on the wolves. The wolves are basically done, other than some very fine detail work I need to do on them. Here's Lead Wolf. And he's literally, the way this kit is set up, he's literally, for a kit that's on this base, he literally is like that far out on the kit. Because, like, if you line it up, he's here. He might be like here. So I think I'd figured out that I have to put him here. And then I'll put him here. So you're literally looking, and this is from a top-down view, you know, he's literally going to be like there on the base. So there's so much that sticks off. But it's coming along really well. Much easier to layer with that. I'm excited to get goblins, orcs up and going. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do grenade goblin. No, I'm gonna do gun goblin. Gretchen. Yeah. Life goes on. Invariably, life will always go on no matter what happens, until the point in which it doesn't. Mythos, I like the head shave. I think it's a good look for you. I need to clean mine up. I'm actually thinking about getting one of those skull shavers. They're a pretty cool little electric razor like the old Norelcos, but they're contoured, so, and with heavy springs, they make them waterproof, so you can use them in the shower, and at the same time, your head being round, using a flat razor on a round head because of how hard your head is doesn't always come out right. Doesn't always come out nice and even. Like, I have to go through, like, with the razor I use for my head right now, and I have to hit it I have to hit any given area like 3 or 4 times to get it even. Because, your head's not flat, but the razor is. So I've been thinking about getting one of those skull shavers to make it easier to get my head right, because I like that. Yeah, but it works pretty well. Oh, there you go. Well, that is the kind of endorsement I needed. So then, yeah, I got to get one because I know it doesn't show much on camera. Because I'm not widow's peaking. But I have a growing blossom back here that's thinning and eventually will creep. And I made a promise to myself when I was a young man that I was never going to do the whole comb over or hair club for men. I never got hung up on my hair. I never got hung up on like, oh my god, I'm balding. That was never my thing. I always figured someday I would go bald because it happens in my family, and that's fine. And when it happens, I'm just gonna I'm just gonna get past it. I'm gonna shave past it and move on, and that will be fine. So that's the plan. All right. Getting these heads on, and then we're done with these guys, and then they're ready for priming. And because all of my orcs are done 100% in contrast, they will be getting, and I'm doing them in that cartoony style. So they get done in bright, bright, bright colors, and then they get glossed, and then they get null-noiled. So the null-noil only sinks into the very deepest shades, and then they get matted. So they end up looking like cell shaded, or as close to cell shading as I can do for no amount of work. So that is the plan with these guys. So they get primed in white, pure white. Never bought one, but I got one because of GW and my Imperium magazine, and I use it actually quite a bit. It's pretty fun. When I found out that the lowest level will actually accept the washers I stick things on, along with my magnet bases, I just put washers on there, or things that have pre-built. I've been doing some different basing techniques. I'm actually been doing some models that they don't have big stack up bases or don't have a lot of like supery terrain bases that I just glue them to the base and put the terrain on later. The terrain shovel that they sell, the little terrain spatula, looks like a Coke spoon. It's great. It works great. So I've been using that with a lot of AK muds to get stuff on so I can just glue dudes to their bases right off the bat. So that being said, I did some git bashing with my Terminators that I was building. And this is still the old kit, but I used like a wolfen head and the wolfen shields to make these Terminators look more wolfy. And then put, for the sergeant, I actually put the wolf shablobble thing on his back there. I forget what it's called, the honor mark on his armor. They look pretty good. I like the way this blue is coming out. I think they're going to be just fine. People like the new Marine Terminators, I like them, but I'm going to have so many Terminators, and he can only have so many in a unit. Although Space Wolves could actually technically take 12 units. 3 Assault, 3 Regular, 3 Wolf Guard, and 3 Relic. God, that would be just the slowest moving, but just hardest to kill army ever. Oh, oh, and there, as we are closing up the show for the night, my brother appears. Hello, brother Al. How are you? Good to see you. Good to see you around. So we should start wrapping up the show. We'll talk about Gen Con next week to see exactly what came out, see if anything amazing came out with. I've got a game this weekend, 2,000 points of Knights versus Tyranids. So that's so good to hear, Al. Um, I'm really glad to hear that you're getting through that. How many initial sessions do you have left, big bro? Or is that an indeterminate number? Three more. All right. Well, I know everybody here knows you is keeping you in their thoughts and prayers because we have a bunch of good people in this channel. I want to give a thank to Tina and Ben Kirskio for coming in, being good people there. And Tina is a patron member. I want to thank Mythos from the Frost and Fist for showing up. I want to thank Art Chavez, my buddy, my former teammate, for coming in and saying hi, hanging out with us. And of course, I want to give a big shout out to my brother, the amazing master modeler, Alex Drake. I'll be waiting to hear about that in bated breath, big bro. In other good news, speaking of relatives, I know I mentioned before that I have a very strained relationship with one of my other brothers. But I learned yesterday he too was battling throat cancer, as I understand it. And after his chemo, he came back clear. So he is in recovery mode now. So that's good. So that gives me good hope for my big bro. How he's going to do. Seems like we Drake boys take to healing. Yeah. I won't let them make that and figure out what's best for you, big bro, because everybody here just wants you to get better. We're hoping the best for you. So that being said, it is now 10 minutes to 9. I'm going to sign off a couple minutes early. Go and pour myself a nice, tall, cold iced tea and hope all of you have a wonderful day, wonderful evening, a wonderful week. Ben, have a wonderful week and the weekend out at Gen Con. I look forward to hearing all the best stories. And I will see all of you next week. And until then, my friends, stay epic and game on.